now here and my age that I've been living in this earth, I'm very happy for everything that I have done, and I'm still looking forward to do even more if it's possible. And I'm not finished yet. I still got more to do.
70 years young.
I wouldn't take you here if I didn't think you could do it. I wouldn't take you here if I didn't think you could do it.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 1,000 Ways to Say the Same Thing podcast. This is a very special episode to me. I have a man here, one of my guests. He's everything that I strive to be in my life, mainly because I saw him every single day. There's a reason why I'm the way that I am, and it's because of the man that's sitting to my right here, and it's my grandpa. This is my grandpa Felix Aguirre. Say hi, Grandpa.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Now this podcast is really dear to me, mainly because there's certain aspects to my life, there's certain things in my life that I can attribute to my parents, my grandparents, my friends, and the lessons that you learn from the smart people in your life, and everyone can attribute that, even if it's a good lesson or a bad lesson. That's what you learn. So Grandpa, tell everybody, you can introduce yourself. Just tell them a little bit about you. Tell them who you are and when you met me.
Hello, my name is Felix Aguirre, and I born in one of the states of Mexico, Jalisco, and I married over there. I came over to the United States, and I have all my kids here, 3 of them here. We got two in Mexico, but we come back over here, and then we start our life as a parents. My first son born here in Oakland. Then we go back to Mexico, and then we come back, and we have the rest of the kids, which is all together we're 6, but one is gone to heaven and 5 still alive. But we're very happy with that. And then my daughters is getting married, and then I know this big grandson here, Angel, and he was a little guy, but now he's a big guy. He's a giant. But I love him. I love every one of my grandkids so much, and I love of course my own kids. It's been a really nice life that we've been living, my wife and I. So we're very happy for them.
And Grandpa, how long have you and Grandma been married?
We've been married for 46 years, almost 47, which and we still want to go for more years. So we're still happy, we're still okay, and we wanted to go further down.
Yeah, if there's anything that I can attribute my size and my strength to, it's definitely my grandpa. After school, him and I would go and get food, and I definitely got all those proteins and carbs and all those meals. But Grandpa, tell them just to talk about it. So when did you come over to the United States? What year?
I came in the United States in 1954. We went all the way up to Auckland, and we worked there for a couple of years, and then that's when we go back to Mexico. We stayed out for another 4 years, and then we come back to the U.S. and we stay here in Vista, which is has been our house for all these years. We've been living here for about 38, close to 40 years. But we came in 1979 here to Vista, and we've been here all this time.
Yeah, home sweet home.
Yes.
I mean, what was it like back then? I mean, coming over and trying to get a job and trying to work, trying to support, my grandma and the boys and the girls at first. What was it what did you have to do?
It was kind of difficult because I didn't know the language, and I didn't know anybody here. So we came here hoping that we can do a better way of living for my family. We were okay over there in Mexico, but we have the temptation, the invitation from friends and stuff, and we decided to try it, and we came over. I make a decision, and I have to travel with my wife and three of my kids. It was kind of hard, difficult because expensive travel, and then when we get here, I don't have a job. I have to look for a job. I was waiting on the corners of the street, waiting for somebody to pick me up and give me a 1 day of work or something, so I can get something to feed my family. But I was always out there looking for something, and I never really was sitting on the bench or in my chair. I was always looking for something and hoping. And I'm a man of faith. I believe in God, and I believe that He's always getting us a hand, and so it was pretty nice. I met these people there when we get here, and one of the ladies that I was helping her to do her jar work. She was a retired teacher from Vista Unified School District, and she told me one day, Phyllis, you need a better place to live, because I was living in a little bed area. A lot of bad people were there, drunkards and drinking and fighting and running to each other. But I was there, and then this lady came in my life, and she brought the idea of she was telling me that she was gonna get me a job, and I said, well, I will appreciate it if you help me that way. So she was the key for me to get a job in the Vista Unified School District, it was a blessing for me.
How long did you work there at the school district? Because I know that, I mean, when I was going to school, it was always cool for me to see you there, and it was always a treat to see you at my school. It was just always fun. It's like I was never embarrassed or ashamed. I was always like, that's my grandpa. He's busting his ass. He's working really hard, and I get to see him. How long did you work for the school district?
I worked for the school district for 32 years.
What year was that? Did you start?
It was the 1979 exactly when we came over to the U.S. That was September 10. I remember the date and the month, and so it was a blessing. So 32 years working over there as a gardener, a grounds keeper, and I really enjoyed my job, and I was working with a lot of different people, Hispanic people and American people and all that kind of people, but I was happy, and they were amazing how happy I was doing my job. So I really enjoy it.
How did you? And I know it's a funny question, but a lot of people, I mean, especially me and kids of my age, they like to they like to sit and they complain about the kind of work that they have to do. You know, they sit and they don't like their job, or they don't like where they're at in life, and they don't really sit and think about what it's like to, to do what you had to do, because you were out in the hot sun. I mean, you were outside and you were a groundskeeper, just working hard with your hands outside. What made that kind of work, you know, what made you okay with doing that, and happy with doing that? And what would you say to kids and people my age right now that are unhappy with their job?
Well, I think first of all you have to put in your mind that what are you doing for, or what are you doing any type of work for. You doing for yourself, you're doing for the employer. So what are you doing for? But I think my own experience, I was doing the work for myself. I was working, putting too much effort in my job. I was really happy doing it, and I was thankful to God that I got a job. But I was always thinking of my family, and I wasn't gonna go run away and let my family be hungry, or you know I always thinking about them, and they were my inspiration. But I learned that I have to have everybody have to have a reason why do they looking for work, even if they don't like it. If we don't like it at the beginning, because myself, I was just about ready to quit in the first months that I was working there, because I used to work at construction in Mexico, and I thought it was good work over here, very good paid work, and I was thinking about quitting and go to construction. But I stayed there, and I started liking, and I really happy that I did. So it makes me keep going, and like I say, I enjoy my work until the last day I was there. I still missing my activity over there. But I can tell you, young people, they kind of give up so easy. They have to have a conviction themselves, and you have to have a desire, and try the hardest as possible, because you always gonna have some kind of desire for not doing it. But they just keep going, and you will be glad to do it.
Yeah, that's one thing that I think about constantly. It's, even though sometimes I can sit and I can say that, yeah, I don't enjoy what I'm doing. I like to sit back and think about the stuff that a lot of people had to do to get me to the point where I'm at. There's a lot of stuff that I had, that you had to do, that grandma had to do, that my parents had to do. A lot of stuff that I've been through, that that gets me to the point where I'm at now. Without you guys, and without the sacrifices and all the stuff that you guys had to do for years, I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do, the things that I enjoy, and that's the one thing in my life that I can always say that is constant. It's something I think about all the time. It's, what do I have to do to make you proud, to make my grandma proud, to make my parents proud? What are those things? Because no one, we didn't ask you to do it, but you knew back then that you had to. The same way where it's kind of like, I have to make you guys proud. I have to make you and my grandma proud and my parents proud. I have to do that because you did so much. like for everybody. And I appreciate it, and I thank you, and I thank everybody who's helped me along the way.
Well, thank God for that because he made us that way. He makes your grandma and me, myself, that way. I think we're really concerned about our kids, and we wanted to do the best for them. And if we did good, we always thank God for that, and thank you guys that you've been listening to us. You've been allowing us to uh, uh, advertise things to you and showing you that everything is possible. Uh, you have to be convinced yourself that you can do it, and like you asked me what you need to do to make us proud. Well, first of all, just be honest with yourself and to the other people, and be respectful, and and be strong on life. With any kind of obstacles that they come in your life, just trying to jump over or, or pass through it. I mean, with honesty, with pure heart. Don't be violent. Don't be fighting with the situation. Just be calm and do what you have to do, uh, in a good way, and 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 do the best. You do your best, and if you need some advice from us, we're here for to help you. Just go. Be patient too, because things not coming from overnight. You have to work constantly. You have to be uh, constant, and whatever you're trying to do, and don't give up. Try it till the end of it. If it's not going to be possible, well, you can always look for something else. But everything you try, just go to the end of it. Don't stay in the middle, or the first obstacle that you come through. Give up. No, don't give up.
Yeah.
Just keep on going.
There's one thing that I heard. It's a saying is if you're gonna do something, go all the way. And that's something that makes sense. I mean, why would you stop? Why would you stop doing those things that make you happy at the first sign of trouble? So I wanted to ask you with everything, with you coming over, to the United States, trying to find work, going back, coming back, trying to raise a family, and everything in between. I mean, what was one of the hardest things that you had to overcome in your life that you can look back on and say, yeah, I made it through it. I made it through it because I had to stay calm, because I had to go through it all the way.
Well, I think my first hardest part in my life was to come back to the United States with my family, because I already have, like I say, 3 kids and my wife, and it was hard because it's not easy. It's expensive, and it's risky, and then we have the trouble to problem to not uh, be legal. Unfortunately, a lot of people came over the border and stuff, and it was hard for me. It was really hard, and in a way, back over here, it was hard for me. Very, very unlikely things. We have to face it, and no money in the pockets, and then my kids were hungry and stuff, and I have to leave my family there. I come over, and then I have to borrow some money from people, It was hard, really difficult, and a little, I can say a little incidents happens in my family when I was coming through, but that was probably the most harder part. The rest was okay because we were together. My wife and I, we've been together really strong. We never regret anything. We never say, "Oh no, I can't handle this. I don't want this." We just keep on going, and here we are now. Thank God, we're okay. I'm retired from my job and happy.
That's good. That's good. Because that was gonna be one of the questions I asked you is, are you happy? Are you happy? Like looking back now, can you say that you're satisfied with your life up to this point, being 70 or you're turning 70 this year, turning 70, everything that you've gone through, there it's not all happy. It's definitely not all happy. But looking back on it, can you say that that you're happy with everything that you have now and that you've achieved now?
Yes, yes, I do. I very like. I can repeat that as many times I need it, but I'm very happy. I looking back and stuff. I can tell myself, Phyllis, you did good decisions. You now you're enjoying the benefits of what you did, and I'm happy. I'm very happy that I did make a decision, and that's it. That's great. I'm happy with my wife. I'm happy with my kids. I'm happy with my grandkids, which you one of them, and I'm happy to see my kids nice and family type of people. They're not separated. They're not going around away. We all living together as a family,
Yeah.
and that's a happiness. That's a big reason to be happy.
You talked about faith. You talked about faith being one of the things that was really important to you, and as far as as far as I can remember, it was always you and my grandma and all my aunts and my uncles and us. We'd all go to church together, and we'd all go and sit and spend time together with that faith. There's a conversation that we had. I don't know. I think it was a couple years ago, and we don't have to talk about it, but I know a while back you were suffering from, what was it? Was prostate cancer? Is that what it was?
Yes, I do.
And I remember you telling me that faith and that faith was one of the biggest things that got you through it.
Yes, one particular day I was feeling bad, and then I had to run to the doctor, and the doctor was checking me out. They make some studies and stuff, and take a little while before they told me. But they give me the results, and they call me. The doctor called me, office called me, and they said, "Okay, I want to talk to you. If you can come over to our office, I want to talk to you about your problem." And I did come back to the doctor, and and uh, and he was really serious when he looked at me, and I know right away it was something.
Hold it tighter, a little bit tighter. Yeah.
It was something that he had told me, and I said, "Come on, doctor, tell me the truth, tell me whatever it is. I'm ready to hear it." So he said, "Yeah, well, we come with the results, and you have cancer. Cancer, to me, in those days, it was like talking about death. it's a really serious sickness. Thank God for the technology of the doctors, the medicine nowadays. But it's a kind of scary thing when they tell somebody they have cancer. The people got struck really bad, and their mind and their heart. But it was kind of tough, really mm, discomfort, discomfort feeling. But I came around and I tell, okay, doctor, what do you suggest? And he gave me three options, and I said, well, the best option for me is to just cut it off. Bring the knife and do the work. So so he did it, and thank God I'm fine. Uh, I'm not. I don't have any problem, and I'm not happy I did it because he asked me, would you like to talk to your family? I say, yeah, I'll talk to them. And some of my kids they're very unhappy for that, and they were mad at God because they said, okay, God, if my dad dies for this, I'm not gonna talk to you. And I say, okay, well, but I have faith. I have faith in my God, and so I keep it up. I said, well, all 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 this stuff is in God's hands. If He want me to go, I'm ready to go. If He want me to let me here for more time, I'm fine. I'm ready. So ended up they uh, cut the cancer off, and here I am. I'm still alive. Thank for that.
How long ago was that?
It was about 17,
It's 2000.
16, 17 years.
So 2002, 2003.
Yeah.
I was only 97. I was only, what was that? I was like 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and and it's important. I mean, having that kind of faith is important, and especially if that's the thing that has been a constant theme in your life, you're not going to change it. There's just a specific time, and it was I think it was a couple weeks. It was like a month or so ago when I had a customer. I had a customer come into my store, and being the manager and talking to her, she came in. She came in for her wedding, and she has she came in and at first glance, like seeing her, she came with her two boys, and she's a very small, frail woman. She was wearing, it was raining, so she was wearing a beanie and a hood, and she came in, and when we just went to talking, just started talking about it, and started talking about how she was getting married, and she was bringing her two boys in to pick some stuff out for her wedding. And then she took her beanie, she took her hood off, and she was bald. She had her hair removed. She was balding from the chemo, and we started talking to her, and we started talking to her, Santiago and I, because my cousin, for everyone who doesn't know, but Santiago and I were working with her, and she tells us how her wedding was in the summertime beforehand, and because of her health, they had to push everything up to February. Like, it was months and months and months because it just seemed like everything was getting worse. And we started talking to her and getting to know her, and she's a very lovely woman. And when we asked her, what happened, how she got diagnosed, all that kind of stuff, she said that she was perfectly healthy, working out. She was a bodybuilder, so she was working out, eating right every single day. And then one day she just got sick, like she had the flu. She didn't get better. She went to the doctor. The doctor gave her some antibiotics for the flu, and then she didn't get better, and she went back, and they're like, they took a scan, and they're like, wow, you have this cancer. And the cancer that she has is like extremely rare, really, really rare. Like, only like 300 people in the entire United States have it, and she's one of them.
Wow.
And And if there's anything that you and my grandma have taught me and Santiago at the same time, it's always been give back, be generous, you know, because there's somebody that's worse off. There's definitely somebody that's worse off than you, even if it's not in that particular situation right now. I mean, there's always somebody that can need help, and I know from, and I know from going and doing it with you and grandma and Santiago and my mom and everybody before, how we would go to TJ and we would give blankets and we give clothes to the kids and the kids out there and the less fortunate out there, and that's something that I want to start doing again. But in whatever situation that I can to try to give back, I try to give back. So I helped her out. I helped her out with her with the with her stuff for her kids. I took care of it. And when I told her that, she started crying. And she came around and she hugged me and I started crying, and then she hugged Santiago and he started crying, and it was just really weird because it wasn't weird, but it was like one of those moments where the reason why we did it was because I did it because I remembered all the stuff that was going on with you.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was very young at the time, I remember how much everyone came together to try to make it better and easier for you.
Nice.
And the same thing with grandma, how we've always tried to be there for her. It was we wanted to be there for her in that situation, and yeah, it was one of those things where I felt like it needed to be done in the way that I could help her the best way possible. I had to do that for her. And then she ended up texting me later on. I gave her my phone number later on in case she needed anything at any time, and she messaged me later saying that that you and my grandma had helped raise two wonderful boys. And that wasn't even the goal. The goal was just to help her, but that kind of stuff shines. And what are just with all the stuff that with all that, and what are the things that you've taught your kids and taught my aunts and uncles, my mom? What are the things that you've taught them to do in their whole life? How to treat people? How do you want them to treat people?
Well, I remember, and I still doing the same thing. But I remember when my kids were little guys, little kids. We showed them how to be respectful with people and not criticize them and judge them without knowing. And most of our teaching to them was whatever we were doing it. They saw us. They seen us doing different activities and benefit of all the people, and they always seen us helping people and hearing us talking nice to people. And every once in a while we tell them, hey, don't be respectful and be child of God, be childs of God, because we are the son, little children of God, and if we are godly people, we should live that way, live and showing that we are nice people, and they see us doing. I mean, all our lives, when my wife and I get together, get married, we start doing that kind of activities. So we start doing a little here, a little here, there, a little here, a little bit here, a little bit there. But we've been doing since we've been married, and we still doing it. We still doing a lot of things, and we still telling them how to live themselves among other people, and sometimes we have to teach them, hey, don't be desperate on the road when somebody crosses on the way, and they start they start want to yell them everybody, but I think mm, uh, we kind of be an example for them. We were an example for them to be that way, and we thank God for that, because God make them sensible to the presence of the Lord in their lives, and they see that in ourselves as a parents, and I think that they learn from there, and I'm really glad they do, and I know now through them, you guys, our grandkids, they thank God that you still have that feeling in your heart, and we really thank God for that.
Yeah, I mean, I remember there's times when I was down here for like the summers with my mom, and I would go to church with grandma in the mornings, and then after church every single day she would go and she would make the lunches and hand them out to the people who needed lunches, the basically the homeless people that would come up to the church for the sack lunches, and grandma would bring me to that, and I would help her out with those, and I would help hand them out, and it's an eye-opening experience. It's really one of those experiences that you kind of have to sit and go through yourself, because unless you see it firsthand, unless you see the kind of stuff that, I mean, you know what it is that you have. And until you see that in somebody else, and you see the fact that that person doesn't have much of anything, I mean, they don't even have food. Like that's it's a whole different experience.
Yes.
I and I mean, I pride myself on having a good heart, because that's something that, I mean, that's something, and not to sound like I'm bragging about it, but that's something that I hear from a lot of people, that a lot of people say that I have a very good heart. And I definitely think that that's a quality that I get from you and that I get from my grandma, because and it's Hispanic culture, and just cultures in general. I mean, with parents going out and working and doing all that stuff, I mean, a lot of times the kids are left with their grandparents, and that was especially true for me, because my mom and dad separated a long time ago when I was really young, and I spent a lot of time with you and my grandma. I spent a lot of time with my grandparents, and with my cousin, who's basically my little brother. So if there's any of the good redeeming qualities that I have in those crucial years as a young man, as a young boy, it's the stuff that I learned from you guys. So what do you think it means to have a good heart? What do you need to do, and what do you feel when you have a good heart?
Well, I feel even talking about myself, I feel that I'm very very sensible to what's around me. I very sensible to the needed people around, and I still need. I'm a needed people too. I need a lot of stuff, but I'm happy for what I have. Thank God for what He have given me, and but I'm not. I used to be hard before my young years. I was kind of don't care about the suffering of the other people. I was kind of well, they look for that problem themselves, and I wasn't really care about them. But then I feel it comes to my mind that my mom used to tell me a lot of good teaching too, and then I started going to church. I started going very active in my church, and my faith was growing, and I get those feelings from going to church and starting reading the Bible and praying together, and my good feelings start flowering in my heart and my mind. So it feels good. It's a really good sensation when you when you don't have a really tough heart. It's really good feeling, and and I think I'm not ignoring people. Maybe I'm not able to help all the way through, but I'm willing to help the people who needs it. And when I see this and your yourself, my grandkids, I'm really happy. I'm really glad that you are on the right path, and don't lose it. Don't lose it. Just keep it up. Feed that feeling and make it stronger in your heart, and you will be really strong and your life. That's gonna make you go honest with everybody around, and to yourself, and you're gonna feel really good. Like me myself, now here and my age that I've been living in this earth, I'm very happy for everything that I have done, and I'm still looking forward to do even more if it's possible. And I'm not finished yet. I still got more to do.
70 years young.
Yep, 70 years of experience.
There's, and developing that good heart and being compassionate and wanting to help others and that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm sure you could agree that it gets really hard for some people to continue to want to be good, even though a lot of bad stuff happens to them. But were there any moments in your life where you thought the bad stuff that he is going through now is going to help him out later? If it wasn't about me, it was about Santiago, or if it was about any of your kids, any of that stuff. I mean, did you ever sit and think, yeah, he's good. He's a good person. He or she's a good person. But they have to figure it out, because if they don't figure it out, they're not gonna learn from it.
Well, I think as long as you have good people around you, you can always find a way to go, and the whole life is a lesson to learn, and one of the things that I can tell you about that is, if you already realize that you have a good heart and good compassion to the others, just trying to make it settle really steady in your heart. Don't let the bad stuff around make change your mind. Just keep your mind straight and what you are and what you wanted to do. And if you want to be a good person, you can be a good person for all the rest of your life. And even when you see bad things happens around, bad situations, that's devil's temptations or disturbance. But if you like I say, if you want to be keep going in that direction, it's possible. Just keep on going, and you will be good.
One of the things that I that I talked about on another episode was in life you're gonna find a lot of people that don't care for you, that just don't like you. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with it has everything to do with them. Some people are just a bunch of jerks, and they're just not gonna like you. And when growing up, you're going to have to deal with those people because they're going to say things, they're going to do things, and you're going to get picked on, you're going to get teased. There's stuff that you have to go through. Being that you were, that you were over here and, learning the language and just working hard and doing that, just trying to provide. Were there ever times when people would those people would come out and they would come out and the people who didn't care, they would just call you names or say things to you? Were there ever times that happened to you?
Yes, see, as long as we live here among all the people around, we're going to have that kind of stuff around. But I remember one of my ideas in my head that I have in my head and my mind. I know there was situations where people really call me names and kind of offended me and trying to desafiate me. Desafiant is really they trying to get me to fight.
They were trying to they urge you. They were trying to get you to make the first move.
They're trying to get me into a fight and stuff, and I always think about myself, and I said, well, what's gonna happen if I get into a fight? Well, first of all, the police was gonna come up and they gonna get us in jail, or they gonna give us an advice or something. And I don't want to get in any trouble with that. So I was always trying to avoid that. And even when people think that I was coward, I was chicken. Hey, that's okay. I can be a chicken alive, but instead of being a rooster dead, or in jail.
Yeah.
So I just trying to ignore situation if it's possible, and just walk away, and then my kids, my family, it was another reason for me to not getting into invitation of fighting or arguments. I trying to be, and also, like I said in the beginning, I'm a faith person, really strong faith on God, and I don't want to offend God. Even when I do, unlikely, I don't want to offend God or hurt His really loving heart. But I do sometimes without wanting to do it. But I trying to be nice to him too, and be faithful to him, and those are good reasons for me to stay away from that and kind of walk away.
You were just smart about it. You knew that there were more important things at hand than the stupid thing that was going on in front of you.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember one time when you were at school, and you were working, and you had a bunch of the big palm tree, like palm leaves that you cut off, and you were taking them to the dumpster in the back, and you were carrying them. You had like 5 or 6, and they're big. You're just dragging them, and these kids would just come up and step on them. And I saw they would step on them, and then they would jerk you back, and they would pull you, and it made me so mad. And I remember walking over there and helping you, grabbing the leaves with you and taking them, and they would still do it. And it's just, thinking about it now, yeah, there were more important things. I just wanted to help you. Like, I wanted to help you get the job done. I didn't care about them.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that's the idea. It's regardless of what little jerk is going to come and step on your leaves or what other jerk is going to come and mess with you, there's a job that you need to do. There's something that needs to be done, and you have to focus. Well, you know, and so, and it's just crazy. It to me, it's just crazy because just I remember spending so much time with you and Grandma. And the thing that I keep saying is that this whole project, this whole thing, this is for me, because I learned things about myself, and by learning things about myself, I learned things about other people, and I've always known that I've taken what you and my grandma have said of personally, and it's helped me be the person that I am. I just didn't know what parts and how it worked. I knew it was there, but I didn't know what parts, which is really interesting. And we're kind of and we're coming towards the end of it. So I have two questions, and it's the questions that I ask a lot of people, everybody that's been on the show so far. If there was somebody out there, someone in the same situation, somebody who wants to come over to the U.S. and start a life, start a family, or someone who's here already in the same situation where they have to work harder than everybody else to 50, 60 years down the line, or no, 40, 50 years down the line, be happy like you are, what would you tell that person?
Nowadays, it's a really hard situation to come over to the United States. The laws are really strict about that, and there's taking my own experience in Mexico. I was doing good, like I said earlier. I was doing okay. I was supporting my family really well as a construction man. Some people they don't have a specific title or knowledge to do anything. They just go whatever comes around. But if they come over if they want to come over, they should be thinking that if they're gonna come, they're gonna be respectful with the laws, with the people around, and not trying. Don't forget their origin. They have to be, hey, poor, whatever. If we're poor, well, we can be honest. We can be respectful. We can be willing to work. Not asking. Okay, I want to do this job. No, when I was here, I was looking for any kind of job. I don't care about what was it, as long as I can get something for a little bit for feeding my family. That was it. And yeah, I can't really tell don't come over, because I did it myself. So just if they want to come over, I wish you good luck, and I bless them, and I hope everything is for good for their families.
And then my last question is kind of two questions. What is the legacy, or what is the message, or that coaching cue that you would want to leave to your family, everybody, me, Santiago, Brenda, my mom, all the kids, all your kids, everybody? What's the message that you want to leave to all of them? I know it's a sad thing to think about being gone, but what's the thing you want them to remember? With the message that when they think about it, they know.
Well, I will say that I will be asking them and tell them that don't forget me. They if something that I wish them to do is remember me, and not as a person, as a person only, but as a doer. I was remember all the example that I lived for them, and be strong, be be safe, in the safe spot, and don't look for trouble, don't get into trouble, and keep their head up all the time, acting, of course, with honesty, with pure heart, and don't do bad stuff. Just keep on a good track. That's it. That's what I was telling them, and I know, sooner or later I'm gonna go, but until then, I will just stay here with you guys, and give them whatever I can for you. You can be safe.
Okay, and then my last question is, with everything that you know about me and everything that we've gone through as a family, what's the one thing that you want to tell, that you want me to remember?
I want you to remember, the love that your grandma and I have for you, and all the good words of advice we have telling you, and remember my laugh, my smiling. Sometimes I'm serious, but whatever smiles you see on me, just remember that, and let that feed your spirit.
I'll remember that.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. I always appreciate you guys tuning in and giving me a listen. It's nothing but love for everybody and everyone who wants to take the time to listen to the cues that I'm trying to learn myself. Yeah, I mean, this was a very special episode to me. It's my grandpa. It's one of the men who raised me and taught me how to be a man from an early age. You can't really find him anywhere. He's retired, so don't bother him. Just leave him alone. If you have any questions or concerns or anything, you can always reach out to me. But thank you for this. Thank you for allowing me to have this episode and another day that I can spend with my grandpa. So thank you, and I'll speak to you guys soon. I appreciate it, and I love you guys. Bye, Grandpa.
Bye.
I love
Thank
you.
you very much.
I love you, Grandpa.
I love you too. And forgive my English.
Bye, everybody.